In the wake of its premiere, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, has become the latest in a growing list of movies and television series that have fallen victim to review bombing on the website IMDb. The Internet Movie Database, popularly known as IMDb, has become a go-to resource for casting news, release dates, and audience reviews of films and shows. However, as exposed by the review bombs of She-Hulk and other recent projects, IMDb's intent to offer a credible index of genuine audience reviews has been massively undermined by one of its own rules and by the site's rise in popularity. The rise in bad faith IMDb reviews, particularly for projects led by women and/or BIPOC, threatens to render the site's scores meaningless if the problem is not addressed. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, is an MCU comedy series starring Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters, cousin of Bruce Banner, a.k.a. the Hulk. The show is looking to break new ground for the MCU in terms of style and form. Its first episode has drawn comparisons between the characters She-Hulk and Deadpool, with the series looking to deliver a similar sort of self-aware, fourth-wall-breaking humor combined with sitcom tropes and superhero action. As a result, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, has received acclaim to the tune of an 82% critics rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Yet even before any episodes became available to the public, many IMDb users sought to undermine the series by leaving as many one-star reviews as possible, striving to create a negative narrative around the latest Marvel release. IMDb's policy of allowing users to review movies and TV shows before they've been released has created an online culture war that renders many of the site's scores useless in terms of gauging audience reaction. As of late, the review bombing of Marvel movies and shows has become a growing problem, with the theatrical feature Eternals and the TV series Ms. Marvel and Moon Knight all falling victim before their respective releases. But the problem is not for Marvel directly, as IMDb scores seem to have little effect, if any, on the popularity or commercial success of MCU projects. The problem that pre-release review bombing creates is felt most by IMDb itself. As the tactics and impact of review bombing have become more widely understood by the fan community, an equal and opposite reaction has risen up to counteract that. Before the release of its first episode, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law saw an equal number of 1-star and 10-star scores left on its IMDb page. This unnecessarily clouds the picture of audience reactions for fans trying to determine whether to watch the series, and this may ultimately drive users to seek different sources, damaging IMDb's credibility. User ratings are a weapon, and it needs to change. IMDb reviews mostly function as an honor system, with users being trusted to only review projects they have seen and to give an honest score that reflects their enjoyment. However, as the site became more popular and its ratings garnered more cash in the public eye, the honor system began to be abused to create false narratives and a new battleground for the internet's war over topics like Disney's LGBTQ+ representation in Marvel's Eternals and other movie and TV projects. With this being the case, the current IMDb policy leaves the LGBTQ+ community, as well as women and BIPOC working in film and television, particularly vulnerable to unnecessary vitriol and harassment. Allowing audience reviews prior to release also has a negative effect on fandom and discourse surrounding review-bombed projects. As early IMDb scores become controversial, many outlets and fans look to either confirm the legitimacy of these negative assumptions or validate the excitement of positive assumptions without discussing the actual show on its own merits. For example, in the face of review bombs about potential She-Hulk, Attorney at Law's bad CGI problem, much of the coverage of the show's first episode has revolved around this topic, and discussion of its CGI is likely to dominate the show's run. While it'd be a nearly impossible content moderation challenge for IMDb to authenticate that every reviewer has seen the movie or show they're reviewing, changing the rules so that scores can only be given for She-Hulk, Attorney at Law and other projects after they've been released would increase the legitimacy of scores and raise their value as a tool for consumers. Without a change in policy, IMDb risks losing all credibility as the platform devolves further and further into a polarized culture war battlefield.